Glory be to God. Welcome to D. Weaver Art here on YouTube, the channel for art lovers who love realistic and impressionistic style portraits. I would like to talk about this painting that I am doing currently at the moment. But before I go any further, I want to thank everyone for subscribing to my art channel. I want to thank you guys for all y'all support. Now, this painting was inspired by a photo I seen, and I examined it, looked at it, and one thing that I loved about the painting was the skin tone and the light, the way the light hit his face, the unique shadow features that the light created. I wanted to portray that in this painting. And I want to also use the style called broken color. For you guys who don't know what broken color is, it's when you take a total different color that's what you got on the surface of the canvas, and you use a total different color that's of the same value. So the way you find the value is to squint your eyes. It's very important when you paint in the style that I paint, which is impressionistic style, is to squint your eyes so that you can see the values, the shadows, and it biggest thing it helps is that it gets rid of all the busyness that you see in the photo or live reference, depending on what your source that you painting from. Squint your eyes. Basically, you're seeing through your eyelashes. And so that's what I did to be able to take the paintbrush, which I start out with a large, probably I think it was like a number 8 flat brush, and just started to put my brush marks on there. Really simplified, and that's what you want. The key is to get the impression of the person. I went a little bit beyond the impression of the person to the point of straight up realism, but not it's tight to some extent, but in some areas, if you look closely at the end of this painting, that is very loose. So I really emphasize the fact, I always say to myself, I want to paint more loosely. And so that was my intention, as I have with most of my paintings, is to not get really tight. One way I find for myself to help me paint loose is to not get so detailed in the drawing or the basic structure or the proportions. Yes, it's very important to get the proportions down, but after all, this is Impressionism. And some of the proportions may be off with the Impressionism, but the whole emphasis is the brush marks, the brush strokes. And so that's what I did. So I wanted to make sure that I was captivating, getting that down for the whole purpose of the painting, is to get the brush stroke. I really wanted to emphasize. I think I could have, looking back and reflecting on it, I think I could have done better than what I did. And so that's pretty much what had transpired. I feel like, looking back in retrospect, I could have done a little bit more better and got a little bit more looser with my brush marks, but that's okay. It's a learning process, and I really enjoyed doing this painting. And I titled this Valuable. Now, for you guys who don't know, I do have a website. It's the D. Weaver Art wordpress.com, and that's where I am. I have some of my paintings there that I've done, but I also do a blog and I explain the painting process in the blog. And most of all, I try to inspire the reader, give the reader a story into the work. And so a lot of the most probably recent months, that maybe the past 2 months or so, I got some blogs that I have done. Actually more than that, but blogs probably in about a month or so, just telling some stories about the paintings or the background or the inspiration behind the painting. So that's pretty much what the blogs kind of cover. So this particular painting that I am doing is featured after I had completed. I posted it on my D Weaver Art WordPress.com. You can go to that. It's titled in the blog portion called Valuable. And so you can read that story and find that story in my blog on that. But back to the process at hand. I started out with titanium white and permanent black and mixing a gray to kind of just get rid of the white. Then I went forward and put in my major shapes. And back to squinting, it's very important that you look at your subject matter through your eyelashes, because that's what squinting is. And what's going to happen is you're basically going to see the darks and lights, and that's what you want. You want it simplified to just dark and lights. And so at the beginning of the painting, I establish my darks and get the values kind of as close as possible to the most important shapes. So as an artist, you're painting in layers, but also you're painting from large to small. So you don't want to break out any small paintbrushes at this point. You always want to start with your larger paintbrushes, especially if you're doing impressionistic style. You want to stick with that large brush as long as you can. It kind of forces you not to go detailed. And you want to hold the brush very loosely. In other words, you want to hold that brush at the end of the handle. And you want to have a little distance, almost an arm's out. And you just load your paint and apply it to your canvas. 1 to 2 brush strokes, let it go. Then load, and you repeat the process over and over again. It's I tend to go pretty fast when it comes to the background, because it's pretty much simplified open space. I don't too much try to not put a lot of detail, because the whole emphasis of the portrait is the person's face anyway. Of course, I get the neck and shoulders and a little bit of clothing and stuff, but the emphasis is not the background. Although I do love the make sure that the colors are what's the term? I would say complementing each other, as far as maybe what the person is wearing, the colors of the clothing that the person's wearing, and the background is going to kind of like complement each other. But guys, please, you're listening to this video, give me a comment below. Let me know what you think about the video. Let me know what you would like to see. Maybe also give me some of your feedback. Let me know what you're painting. Do you paint portraits? You may be first time viewer on my channel. Thank you for tuning in to watch. But also feel free to just give me a like. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Watching. And until then, Thank you for watching. God bless you, and see you next time.